me ask you something. You know those people, the ones who command a room simply by walking into it? Yeah, we all do. And what do they have in common? They each have in common the fact that they are charismatic. Being charismatic means you have the right balance of warmth and competency. Highly charismatic people are like an endless broadcast of warmth and trust and collaboration and openness and vulnerability and authenticity, while at the same time, they have a high level of competence, capability, efficiency, and expertise. Welcome back to the Amplified Life podcast. And today I want to teach you a mini workshop on the one thing that all dynamic leaders have in common. Can you guess what the one thing is? It's the one thing that enables them to have an elevated amount of influence, an elevated amount of collaboration, and an elevated reach, which enables them to elevate their impact and their income. That one thing is and can be defined as an individual who has the right balance of warmth and competence. Now, what do I mean by warmth? By warmth, I mean kindness, empathy, presence, patience. And by competence, I mean knowledge, skill, wisdom, and expertise. Now, people that have the right balance of this have dynamic leadership as well, because their communication is full of charismatic communication. So you know those people that command the room the moment that they walk into it. Yeah, we all do. And highly charismatic people are like an endless broadcast of trust, warmth, collaboration, openness, vulnerability, authenticity, while at the same time, they have a super high level of expertise and competence and power and efficiency and capability. So in this mini workshop on this podcast, this is taken straight from one of our communication workshops in our leadership curriculum, Beyond Leadership with the Amplified Life Company. We are going to teach you 5 things that you need in order to be more charismatic. And if you stick around till the end, this is going to be a short and sweet podcast that you can have those takeaways and implement right away. We are going to get you some hot tips. So hot being humble, open, and trusting. And trust me, you don't want to miss those hot tips. So now that we've defined what a charismatic person is and the benefits of being charismatic, let's just dive right into the 5 tips on how you can be more charismatic so we can get to those hot, quick tips at the end. Now, before I continue, I do want to say if you know someone that is really working to uplevel their communication, please text them over the link to this or share it on your Instagram stories. Or if you have a huge takeaway, we want to hear from you and we want to repost you and we want to share this information with more and more people so we can all uplevel our communication, our confidence, our community, our collaboration, our teams, our lives, our leaderships, and more. So first things first, the first thing that we would definitely recommend you doing is to go first class. And now what we mean by that is set a high standard for yourself. Don't go by any standard that's not aligned with your vision and your mission for your life, your leadership, your business, your career. Set a high standard and uphold that standard, especially if you're a leader of a team, an organization, or you own your own business. Setting the standard is what your team is looking for, and they're looking for you to uphold that standard. So go first class and set a high standard. Going first class also means that you put yourself together. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have all name brand clothing and accessories and the vehicle. It means that you put yourself together in a way that you exude confidence, that you're not disheveled, that you're not in a rush, that you care about how you show up because you care about yourself and you care about others. So go first class. That is tip number 1. Tip number 2, and this is so important because especially as leaders and entrepreneurs and we're wearing so many hats and we have so much on our to-do list. But if you can every day set the intention to pay unreasonable attention. Now, you always hear people say, be present, be present, be present. But it's not enough to simply be there and be present. You have to bring your full attention to the surroundings, to the environment, to the situation, to the opportunity, to the experience, to the people or the person that you are with. Show that you're paying attention by making eye contact, by having good posture, by sitting up straight, by being alert. Give way more attention than people expect. Be where your feet are, which oftentimes means that you're not in your head, you're not thinking about the next thing that you're going to do or the next thing that you're going to say, or anticipating or expecting what the next thing someone else is going to say. You are fully open and available to receive in the experience that you are having. So pay unreasonable attention. You'll be able to see the small details. You'll be able to read energy better. You'll be able to understand what's going on versus rushing through every single experience and you don't get the full experience. So go first class, pay unreasonable attention. And if you're like, I don't really understand that, just try it out. Believe me, you'll understand if you pay attention. The third thing is seek expansion for yourself. If you want to show up as a charismatic leader, you have to seek expansion to yourself. And a few tips on that is getting yourself in rooms and around people that have varying perspectives. So it's not enough anymore to be around like-minded people. So if you're a realtor, getting in rooms with other realtors, if you're a service-based business owner or online business owner, being in rooms with other online and business owners, you want to be around people with diverse perspectives that are growth-minded, that are wanting to go in the same direction that you're going, or maybe a little bit further ahead of you, so that you can be expanded to what's possible. Seek alternative perspectives because we have a tendency to have this bias towards what we're comfortable with. But because we're doing that, we stay small. So seek things that are not like you, and you'll build your charisma and build your confidence. In seeking expansion, also make sure that you have a compelling vision for your life and where you're going, and that you're compelled yourself. So if someone asks you, you can be enthusiastic and share. And you can share vulnerably. Vulnerability is the most magical part of our human existence. And if you're showing up like the smartest person in the room, like nothing's wrong, like you have all the answers to the questions, there's no problems, everything's great, you're not going to be able to connect at a deeper level. People can read right through that. We all have challenges and we all are working on building and growing our character, our capacity, our spiritual maturity, our health, our relationships, our business, our knowledge, our give back. We're all working on all of these things. No one's perfect. So go first class, pay unreasonable attention, seek expanders. Now, be an expert, but be open and have a beginner's mindset. Now, what do I mean by this? I talked about having a compelling vision. Having a compelling vision means you stand for something and you are an expert in something, primarily just based on your experience. And never downplay that. Never compare yourself to someone else's expertise, because that's just going to steal your shine. So if you're in that room and people are a little bit further ahead of you, guess what? You still have something valuable to contribute. Maybe they're a little further ahead of you in their business or their finances, but you have something valuable to contribute on health or relationships or building an amazing team. We all have something to bring to the table, so never downplay it. Always stand in your expertise, but also have a beginner's mindset. Take the pressure off. You don't have to know everything. Stay aligned with what your purpose is, stay calm, and just know that you are here to fully experience both sharing your expertise and learning from others each and every day. Now, the last thing we have, so let's recap the 4. Go first class, seek expansion, pay unreasonable attention, stand in your expertise and your confidence, but also be open to having a beginner's mindset. And the last thing is be an enthusiastic encourager. Be a person that broadcasts good news. Do you ever meet those people and there's always something going wrong? You don't want to be that person. Be a person that brings good news. Ask questions about good things that are happening in people's lives. Ask what you can celebrate with them, what they're most excited about right now. What happened last week that they can share with you that was amazing? What was their highlight of the last month? What is something that they experienced this year that really transformed them? Be a broadcast of good news. Also, be someone that gives specific appreciation and compliments. If you tell a team member, hey, good job for what? That's not specific. It feels very generic and it's not going to hit home. Maybe you tell them, maybe they're a customer service person and you tell them, hey, Susie, I overheard you with the last customer, Brenda. Sometimes she can be really challenging, and she was really challenging. You did such a great job paying unreasonable attention and listening to her completely. And even though you couldn't provide a solution for her, you didn't say no and you gave her options. And she left so much happier than she came in. And she's going to come back to you because she knows that you have information that you can connect her to other people. That's so amazing. That's building a relationship with our customer. And that's part of our mission and vision. Amazing job. Do you see the difference? Or it could just be, hey, good job with Brenda. Hey, good job with that customer. So be specific when you give appreciation and compliments. And if you can give a compliment that's not based on someone's appearance, go for it. If it's based on their spirit, if it's based on their energy, if it's based on how they are showing up, that is going to be the best compliment. And then piggyback that with how they made a difference and how they are really contributing to the world and community if you're just out in everyday life, or maybe they're a team member and how they're contributing to build your vision and mission and corporate culture. So again, I've said this before, but be an enthusiastic encourager, stand for something, have values, don't be afraid to share them and speak them out loud, but speak them in a way that's energetic and enthusiastic and positive. So go first class, pay unreasonable attention, seek expansion, stand in your expertise, but also be open to a beginner's mindset and be an enthusiastic encourager. And if you do those things, you're really going to be on your way to be more of a charismatic communicator, a charismatic person. And I'm super excited to hear from you on what the biggest takeaway was. So make sure to tag me on your Instagram stories, send me a note, send me an email, send me a DM, send me a message on LinkedIn, wherever we are connected. But before I leave you, I want to give you those hot tips, quick hot tips. And these are important and easy to implement right when you stop listening to this podcast. So here we go. You might want to rewind this. You might want to screenshot this part because you might want to go back to it. So be the first to introduce yourself and use names and ask for the other person's name. Don't be afraid to ask for their name again if you've met them previously and you've forgotten their name, because more than likely they've forgotten your name as well. In some cases, if you've only met briefly, but you know that you know them, because most people won't ask. Use names frequently. Use it throughout the conversation and at the end of the conversation. This conversation was so amazing, Brittany. Thank you so much. Use names. and be the first person to introduce yourself. Be a front seater. Don't sit in the back. Sit in the front. Sit up straight. Pay unreasonable attention. Be a front seater. I know for myself, I used to be a back seater, and I would listen and listen and listen and take copious notes, but I wasn't charismatic in my communication. I didn't build meaningful relationships, and I was stuck in my personal and my professional growth while I was growing in my mindset. I wasn't growing in any other way in my impact and my income because I wasn't relating with other people. And so then I started being a middle seater. And then once I got comfortable being a middle seater, I am a front seater all the way. Give me that front seat. Let me raise my hand. Let me be the first person to speak up. So it might take you a little bit to do that one, but be a front seater. Next is practice making eye contact. And eye contact for some people is really uncomfortable. And for yourself, it could be really uncomfortable as well. But make eye contact as much as possible. The next one is walk 25% faster. Now, this might seem silly to you, but think about it. Think about people walking, and if they're slow, they're kind of slumped over, they're not walking very quickly. Do you feel like they're very charismatic? Are you drawn to them? Or someone that has their shoulders back, their head up, they're walking very confidently? You're like, oh, dang, there's something going on, right? Walk 25% faster. And then the last two hot tips are practice speaking up, raise your hand, be the first person to ask a question. Remember, you don't have to know everything. It's okay to say, I haven't really researched much about that. Can you tell me more? Or I don't have much experience with that. Please share more. Or what do you mean by X, Y, and Z? I haven't really heard of that previously. And then the last thing is smile big and smile often. Now, when you're smiling, though, you don't want it to be that fake smile. We all know where it's the fake smile. So use your upper cheek muscles. When you use your upper cheek muscles, there's actually science that shows that it is so energetic and infectious. It's contagious for other people to smile. So practice smiling big using your upper cheek muscles. And remember, having the right balance of warmth and confidence within yourself primes others to build warmth and confidence within themselves. And isn't that what we're all here for? So get out there and practice being more charismatic in your communication. Thanks for listening.